Well, as you can see, it's early spring in Montana. This is one of my favorite times of the year to fish. This is the first opportunity for the big fish to put on a feed bag from the long winter. I'm Kelly Galloup. I teamed up with Airflo to get the right tools to fish these big fish. You know, streamer fishing with these aggressive big flies is relatively new to a lot of anglers. Probably the most important reason is the fact that it keeps these really big flies in the right zone all the way through the retrieve. These lines are not your grandpa's sinking line. This line has every bit of technology any line ever developed. A couple of the key factors with this line is that it's not, remind you, not heavy. These lines are not the old-fashioned lead cores, but with the polyurethane technology, unlike the PVC, like all the other lines in the world, you're able to get a much thinner line but yet have the same amount of tungsten. So what does that mean to you as an angler? It means the line's skinny, so it's super fast, sinks through the water quicker without that extra weight. That means I can turn the fly over quickly, pinpoint accuracy. I start the retrieve, which is generally pretty quick, and it keeps the fly in exactly the same depth all the way through. You know, I mentioned that these lines were skinny. That can be a disadvantage to you when it's cold like it is today. You got a little tiny thin line in your hand, but with the ridge technology from Airflo, there's a little bit of texture in your hand, so it's allowing me to grip this line just a little bit. Another thing that the ridge technology does is, it's actually what it doesn't do. It doesn't collect dirt like a lot of the other lines. Because the ridges are going lengthwise with the line, it doesn't trap dirt. When I designed these lines, I designed them with a purpose. You know, a lot of people think that they're going to cast better with a short sink tip, and there's really nothing could be further from the truth. They're a lot harder to cast. They have a tendency to pile if you've got wind, and they really aren't ever designed to retrieve a streamer, and that's really important. You know, one thing I haven't talked a lot about is the low stretch technology in these lines. It's funny because when I called Tim at Ray Jeff, I asked him, you know, is there anything you can do about the stretch in the cores? He kind of laughed and he said, well, the low stretch power cores have almost no stretch. It's very limited. Everything's going to have a little bit of stretch. And so it was kind of an added bonus. I really wanted a line that had very little stretch for several reasons. The most important was when I'm out there animating the fly and this big fish eats it, when I jack on that thing, I want it to set the hook immediately. I don't want it to stretch. I want immediate bam into the face of that thing.